Igor, we are so excited to partner up with you and join you in the journey and backing your next stage of growth. Tractian as the leading AI-enabled, condition-based maintenance software and hardware platform company out there. Maybe you can walk us through a little bit of the origination story of Tractian and how this all came to be.
My father was a machine operator for 35 years. So started at the shop floor, and I remember it was Father's Day, and he took me to the plant, and I was seeing how the trees were being chopped and going through the whole process until it became pulp, and then the pulp entering the paper machine until it actually became tissue, and that process was just phenomenal. So I had that idea of working with factories, no matter in which way, shape, or form. When you think about a factory floor, you're thinking about products on conveyor belts, spitting out, piling up inventories. But when we were looking at factory floors, we were looking at a different way, at a different angle. What are the machines that are powering this up? And who's maintaining those machines? Maintaining at an industrial scenario is basically producing revenue. If you maintain, you produce. If you produce, you sell. Everybody was building software for the production line. Nobody was building software for maintenance. So it's almost the unsung heroes of the story. And we thought we're going to serve that.
That's a wonderful story. Tell us a little bit more in detail what Tractian does.
Today, we monitor machines, we manage assets, and we save energy and resources. And we do this in a couple of different ways. We serve industrial maintenance in multiple manufacturing facilities, and especially in a couple of different sectors: food and beverage, consumer packaged goods, pulp and paper, automotive and machinery, and so on. And the customers that were solving the downtime problem of their assets, as well as managing their key users and dispatching services more effectively.
You told us a little bit about how Tractian does its work with customers and the software solution. You also mentioned AI, but can you give us a little bit more deeper insights into how AI plays a role?
When you're looking at a machine right now, a machine is producing thousands of signals that then can be collected and parsed, and you can generate diagnostics with. So similarly, when you're analyzing with your mobile phone, what song is playing in a room, for example, and you're using an app, and you're playing that song, and it's being analyzed, and it's telling you it's Beyonce or Rihanna, or maybe you listen to Metallica, something like that. The technology that's being used there is very similar to what Tractian is using to parse that mechanical and electrical analysis of an asset. At the same time, we're using a combination of large language models to parse information and data sheet from that equipment with the history of the maintenance ledger of that key user to essentially automate the decision-making part. So we do a little bit of a combination of supervised diagnostics when it comes to pointing onto the problem so that your machine doesn't break down and you're caught by surprise. But we also do a lot of unsupervised learning when it comes to the recommendations.
Manufacturing efficiency and sustainability is a key topic on mind for a large swath of the economy, as you mentioned. What is it with the Tractian approach that sets you apart? Elaborate a little bit on that.
Of course, we don't like to wear multiple hats. The hard hat that our customer is wearing is the hat that we are wearing. So in that sense, we can only hire people that have the same sorts of values that our customers have as well. So that way you're not changing constantly, and when you talk with a customer, you're one person. When you talk internally with another person, we're the same one.
Right.
And if you think about, we're dealing with blue-collar workers of America, with people that are getting their hands dirty. So they are transparent, they are honest, they are hardworking people, and we need to have the same thing inside the company.
Igor, with the successful fundraising, what are some of the plans that you have in mind for the capital raised?
We are doubling down R&D in all capacity. I think, especially at our environment where customers are expecting something of the highest standard, super high bar. So we always need to be thinking ahead, and if something is good, it needs to be reworked and redone over and over and over again. So we're not settling there. And I mean anything across the brightest talents when it comes to hardware engineering, firmware engineering, embedded systems design, obviously performing some partnerships as well with vendors that will help us train our models and essentially fine-tune our models specifically to our application. That's very hard to find those data, and it's private, and it's not, you cannot find the information that we have on Google to maintain that asset. Similarly as well, I think, going hand in hand with R&D and go-to-market is very important. So I would say it's a 50-50 approach where, sellers, account executives, they are always in contact with product and vice versa, because, an opportunity can be before funnel where we still don't serve that customer.
Right.
And we want to hear the salesperson when it comes to that, and sales sometimes is product as well.
I remember from some of our earlier conversations, you were very proud of sort of the culture and the people and how you're holding accountability inside the organization. Can you talk a little bit about what makes a good Tractian employee?
Of course, yeah. I mean, we're looking for hungry, humble, hardworking, intelligent individuals. And I think, intelligence is something that's absolutely important, but also it needs to come with coachability. We look at that in our process when we're hiring individuals.
We know that you had a lot of choice in investors. We got to ask, at the end of the day, what made you choose to work with Sapphire?
I think it's, first of all, the people, you sitting here, that bet on us. When we're looking at this at a long-term strategy, we're also looking for partners that can think long-term. And there's just a handful of partners that can look at this and think in the next 10, 20, 30 years. I think second, the platform that Sapphire brings to the table as well, and all the value from the team, and looking with, and learning with the other portfolio companies, and just niching into companies that are serving the enterprise and Fortune 500 companies out there. That's very special for us.
Thank you so much. Honored for joining you in this opportunity.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.